Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about coffee. Coffee. I know that most people drink coffee. Some of the people in my family drink coffee. And I know that the price of coffee is going up every day. As you see in this video, there are quite a few different brands, types of coffee. We have Green Mountain Breakfast Blend. It's all ground. There are no whole bean coffees here. So it's all ground and ready to use. You can put this in your coffee maker. You can put it in a reusable pod. The Givaldi Cafe coffee. It's gourmet coffee, they say. It's ground. They have different, I would say, strengths or blends or roasts. The Green Mountain coffee is a light roast. It's not as sharp of a flavor, they say. The other coffee that you see, the Givaldi, is a French roast coffee. In the middle, you'll see a larger bag of community coffee, and this is a medium dark roast coffee. Move on to another brand. It's called Four Sisters Coffee, and this is a morning blend. And then last but not least, in the large bags, you're going to have a bag of coffee from Starbucks. It's a veranda blend, and it has a hummingbird on it. I'm sure that's just decoration for packaging. I looked at all these different coffees through the last 6 months. As you see, the Four Sisters coffee was purchased for $5. Now, normally in the store that I picked this up at, it was $10. I thought that was pretty pricey. Coffee has just increased so much. I think that people might have to have an alternative, or they may have to start buying coffee in bulk when they can. Again, check with your friends, with people you might know in the restaurant business. See if they can get you large quantities of coffee, whether it's ground coffee, instant coffee, coffee beans that are already roasted. I do know that coffee beans that are already roasted last much longer than the coffee grounds. Instant coffee seems to last forever. I don't know why. It's good 10 years later. I had a small glass container of dry roasted coffee. It was instant. And a friend came over. I did not have any of these coffees, and she wanted coffee. I'm like, okay, this is what I have. She opened it up. It was fresh. She made coffee. She said, it's great. And it was dry roasted, and it was 10 years old. Another thing that you might want to stock up on, if you use them, are these little pods. And you see some of these little pods in this video. Donut shop pods, and they're different flavors. There's no sugar in there, so I would imagine they put some type of flavoring in there. It might be an oil or a powder, and it tastes like what they say on the label. There's one that says red velvet on there, like red velvet cake. I don't know what they would do to put red velvet cake in there. Again, family members have tried this and they said they're great. I know that there are also flavorings that you can buy to put in your coffee. Not the creamers, but it's like a syrup. So you can add to, if you have cafe special medium dark roast community coffee and you make a pot of that in the morning, then you can add different flavorings with the syrup. Everybody can have a different flavor. People who enjoy coffee have coffee bars actually in their home. They have a countertop where it's a designated area for their coffee. They may have the coffee maker on the cabinet, and above that, they have a pantry area that has all their coffees, all their amenities to put in the coffee, or they may have a specific bar set up where in the morning or any time someone can come by, make some coffee, put anything they want in it. They have, individual creamers, and it's right there on the cabinet, so it's easily accessible. People who are coffee drinkers have special mugs that they enjoy, different size mugs, travel mugs. Coffee is a huge business. Always has been, probably always will be. Morning coffee is very important to a lot of people. Some people drink coffee all day long. Some people can drink very strong coffee with nothing in it, just plain black coffee. Some have milk, some don't. But the price of coffee per pound is increasing daily. In the news a few months ago, they said overseas, where most of the coffee is grown on the side of the mountains, there was a very hard freeze. And it froze a lot of the plants, the coffee bean plants that had been there for years, 50 years, because it's a family-owned situation, a business, and they're coffee farmers. That's what they do. They grow coffee beans. So they put out on the news that the price of coffee may be increasing. And of course it did. But on top of the import of coffee, the price of coffee has always gone up every year. About 5%. Not a lot, but about 5%. It seems like last year and this year, the increase is closer to 20%, 30%. And there are shortages of coffee out there. Sometimes you may not be able to find Four Sisters coffee, or you can always find Starbucks coffee. It depends on what type you would like. You may not be able to find the Veranda blend, but you can find some other coffee at Starbucks. Starbucks coffee in this size bag runs $8.95, and this was purchased last year. I have not shopped for coffee. As you see, I think I have not enough coffee, but I have coffee for the people who want it. A friend of mine had told me that the pods, these little round pods, are costing $7.95 for 6 or 8. Today I saw in the store that these little pods, a dozen of them, it was $20 for a dozen of these little tiny. So that's a 1 serving pod. So that 1 pod makes 1 cup of coffee. So figure out how much you're paying per cup of coffee. Now, I do know if you go to a coffee shop, you're going to pay a whole lot more. So, what is the most frugal way to have coffee every morning? I would say, first, find it on sale, find it on clearance. If you have a coffee grinder, buy the roasted beans and grind your own coffee and drink it like that. Now, after you get finished with your coffee, don't throw the coffee grounds away. Be sure and save those and till them into your garden area. This is a wonderful thing to recycle. Also, depending on the filter that you use, if you use an organic filter that can decompose, the large ones. Cut those up or just break them up and till those into the garden also. The worms will come along and they will just really enjoy it. Well, I am so glad you stopped by for this little coffee chat. In the comments below, let me know what you're finding with prices of coffee in your area. Do you use the pods? Do you use ground coffee? Do you grind your own? If you found this video informative, give me a thumbs up. I will have many more videos on shortages, challenges coming up in the near future with coffee and other items. Again, I'm so glad you stopped by. I welcome back all my subscribers and I welcome my new subscribers. And I hope to see you very soon.